Welcome back to He's on Fire podcast. I am your host at Coach Evan B. Very happy to be back after a W. It was scary, Sun Devil fans. It was, but we pulled through it. We look better, and we're going to talk about it. But what a weird day in the Pac-12. It started out with all this hope and love and fluffiness and rainbows, and then for the rest of the Pac-12 teams, but we're going to get into absolutely everything here. Of course, we're going to have my man Jayyy on. He's coming on. We're going to talk some Sun Devil football here, get into college football. Big game for the Cardinals tomorrow, too. Let's get into it right now. He's on Fire podcast. Let go.
Looking, throws it alley. Oh! He puts it down! He puts it down! They're getting a little wobbly. The downfield shot out of you! The foot race! They won't get it! Center field! The Diamondbacks are world champions!
Still get hyped by that. I still get hyped by it. All good things, man. All good things for the Sun Devils tonight. Kind of a weird day, I think, for the country, especially with 9/11 being today and 20 years ago. Obviously, I was gonna wear the Pat Tillman jersey, but I just kind of wanted everybody to be able to see the name and the number. And obviously, I got the Pat Tillman Cardinals one. I'm going to wear that one tomorrow, but I just wanted everybody to see that on the eve, or excuse me, on the anniversary of 9/11. But I'm going to bring in my co-host, Jay Joyce, in the house. Jay, what's going on, my man?
Good. How about you, man?
Man, all good today. Thank God. It looked like it was about to be scary there for the Devils. It just didn't seem to be working. I don't know if you saw the 2008 game or what happened when we were going into that. And I want to apologize to everybody. I've been sick this whole week, so welcome back. We were supposed to do one this Wednesday, but it was just awful for me, and I'm all stuffed up. So I apologize to everybody that has to hear me. But back in 2008, we were supposed to get College Game Day the very next week, and we were going to play Georgia. Number 1 at the time, Matt Stafford, no Sean Moreno. The week before, we crush our FCS opponent. We have UNLV coming in, and we were supposed to crush UNLV, and we lose. And it was just an awful 2008 season. Just an awful, awful season. It all stemmed from that game, in my opinion. I think a lot of Sun Devils would, but we came out. We went up early. We went down, actually, 3-0, and then 7-3, and then 10-7. And everyone's like, what the hell? Are we not very good? What did you see coming out in the first, I guess, quarter and a half, really, of that game?
The same issues as it was game one. The penalties, the stupid penalties, and just the inconsistency, and the lack of energy just to start the game, because everyone was just sort of like sluggish in the beginning, and not until after halftime things really started to click.
Sluggish, yeah. The slow starts are worrying me. Now, I just want to preface this whole thing, but I personally think that we're holding things back. I don't think we're showing everything. We got a big game against BYU coming up, who unfortunately just beat Utah. We'll get into that later. So we have a huge game against them. BYU just beat somebody ranked. I would assume, oh man, these stupid ads that come on your headphones when you're talking. I assume BYU is going to be ranked. It's going to be our first true road game. I just feel like we're holding things back, but you're right. It's just, they came out flat, and it's 2 games in a row against inferior opponents. And it's just overall frustrating. Now, when you go and you look at the stats, actually, though, let me pull the team stats real quick. The stats are 175 yards passing to 67, 290 rushing yards to 88. I mean, that doesn't seem all bad. They only got 155 yards, and that was on those very first 2 drives, yo. They had
Yeah.
70 yards in 16 plays. That took 7:40 off the clock, and then the next drive, 10 plays, 75 yards, and then that was it.
Yeah.
They 100% made the adjustments, but I'm a little concerned about Jayden Daniels, our quarterback. What did you see from Jayden? Now, he only had 175 yards, but he completed 18 passes. I would have thought those would be a little bit higher on the yards, but what'd you see at Jayden Daniels?
I do agree with you about us holding things back for the bigger games because, why show everything against unranked teams? But
Sure.
Jaden Daniels, after just so everybody knows, I'm kind of catching up on ASU football. I didn't watch
We're
last season.
indoctrinating him, yes.
Yes.
But you're very knowledgeable with football. You know what's going on, and you live in AZ. You know what's going on.
But with Jaden Daniels, he usually has a slow start. He needs some sort of warm up, a couple of plays. But
True.
again, like midway through the second quarter, a little less than 4 minutes left, he started picking up the pace. He has some Kyler Murray sort of moments, scrambling out the pocket. He was real comfortable in the pocket tonight, which I really appreciate. But I think he looked good for the most part. Yeah, it wasn't a great passing night, but every QB is going to have that, especially like being a ranked team.
There's something about his arm that doesn't look right to me. Maybe it's not his arm. Maybe it's the way he just throws, and we might have bypassed it when he was a freshman.
I was thinking that too, but I think it's just the way he throws, honestly.
Maybe. I mean, I really hope so, but dude, I think you need to stand up a little bit just to make sure we know what kind of t-shirt you're wearing. It says air. Oh, see,
yeah.
We just have to make that clear. That's going to be really great content for the people listening and not watching it. It just said Arizona there, and I saw the little red tip earlier, but I just want everybody to know that is absolutely an Arizona Cardinals shirt. Shervin, what's going on? And Roy, what's going on? Thank you guys for joining. I know Salty's going to be watching as well too. We appreciate you guys. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We have links in there to go out to Google Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Please go in there, especially to the Anchor, and support the podcast. We really appreciate you. Sasha Chamberlain D, howdy. Yeah, I'm feeling a little better, but you guys got to deal with my stuffed up nose. Getting back to Jayden Daniels, just something about his arm doesn't look strong. I know Arizona State fans know what Taylor Kelly looked like and know what Manny Wilkins looked like. And then there was Mike Bercovici, who obviously wasn't the greatest quarterback, but he could definitely sling it. He had the arm for it. But Jayden Daniels, a lot of his passes looked, for lack of better words, airy. They looked like there was a lot of air under them. They weren't zipping right to the guy that they needed to. And he had to run a lot. Now, I'm not sure if that's him not trusting his arm or the player wasn't there, but it just didn't look 100% accurate. So am I off on that? Did you kind of see that?
I feel like he just wasn't feeling it tonight, honestly. I do see what you mean about his arm. I really just think it's just his throwing motion.
Yeah.
I was watching some of his stuff today of him in high school, and he had more of like a side flea flicker, and he's just he obviously has a better form now, but I think it's just his throwing motion, and I think he just wasn't really feeling it tonight. And he had the openings to run, so I'm not gonna really kill him for that.
Right, and that's what he's known best for. He takes what's given to him, and he doesn't take chances, which is something a lot of Arizona State quarterbacks have done recently, which is great. But that's just a little thing that concerns me. The offensive line also concerned me. The offensive line did not look like they were picking up the pressures. They weren't creating the holes. And then all of a sudden in the third and fourth quarter, boom, those holes just opened up. As I said, we had 290 yards on the ground. Personally, I'm sure you too, I would rather run the ball for 300 yards than pass the ball for 300 yards. And I think a lot of people would in this day and age. I mean, 465 total yards. The problem was that first half not looking like they were into it. And the offensive line, as I said, didn't pick up the pressure. But then they were containing the edge, and the edge was there the rest of the night. They were picking up blocks. They were giving Jaden just a little extra time. The holes were there. Everything was looking good. Now, I wish Chip Traynor would have been playing number one on the team. He's my favorite running back. I mean, over Rachaad White, but how can you say that about Rachaad White? Rachaad White is just like Marion Grice meets DJ Foster.
Yeah.
I mean, Rachaad White is an absolute killer out there. It was good to see Nagata, although he came up with the injury thing on his wrist. Brian Thompson, the Utah transfer wide receiver, went out, I believe, in the first series with a hamstring, and he didn't come back. So it was good to see Donovan West. He left and then came back. Nagata left and came back. So for the most part, I feel like we escaped injury. So that part's out of the way. We talked about Jaden Daniels. We talked about the offensive line. Rachaad White, man. Rachaad White, that kid is he just has that it feeling. You know what I mean? He can get to the end zone. He's so patient in letting his blocks set up. What'd you see from Rachaad White? And I guess the overall run game, considering we got 290 damn yards out of it.
So I want to start with the offensive lineman. What's his name? Chase Hatch. He was
fullback. Oh, dude, thank you for bringing him up. He was later on my notes I wanted to bring up, but thank you.
Yeah, like he was insane. He is hustle player. Like he was side by side with White, Nagata, like Jaden Daniels downfield. Like he was like protecting at all costs. So shout out to him. But
real quick on him, I just had a note of what I was gonna say. We saw him lining up as the fullback, the tailback, the tight end, and I want to say he was almost out a little bit more as a receiver for a trick play that ended up with a flag, but he was all over the place. Shout out Case Hatch for sure.
Yeah, he was balling tonight. But talking to you a few days ago, like when I was asking you like how the running back classes or our running back room, and I had no idea how good White and Nagata were, and just their cutbacks, and they're not hesitating, but when they do like hezzy step, like it is lethal. Like they are NFL running backs for sure.
They are.
And like it's just crazy watching them move. They move better than Saquon, arguably. They're not as strong, but like they never have negative yards. They constantly move forward. And again, Hatch is there right behind them.
I mean that's one of the keys right there, is running with a damn fullback too.
Yeah.
Running with a fullback that can push people out of the way just gives you so many opportunities. And we haven't even talked about our wide receivers and how they're blocking too.
Yeah.
They are holding the edge as well. And that's two games in a row where the announcers have specifically pointed that out and said they brought their A game. And I believe we were ranked in the top 2 or 3 of the NCAA last week in like PFF ranking or whatever they call it for wide receivers blocking, and they showed it again tonight. So if you can have a fullback that can do that, and you can have your wide receivers, that's almost half the game right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was damn good to see them doing that. Salty, what is going up, man? Point out a couple notes that you had watching the game. We were texting back and forth, and we were both pissed off in the first half, and then everything opened up in the second half. Going to the wide receivers, Johnny Wilson had a couple nice plays, dragging some guys for 20 yards. LV Bunkley Shelton had a nice 33-yard touchdown to kind of end the game towards the fourth quarter, where he just like stopped and the guy went in front of him and he just walked into the end zone. Yeah. But like overall, man, I'm worried about this wide receiver group. I love Ricky Pearsall. I'm just not seeing it from them. But then again, we only passed for 175 yards. Is that on Jaden Daniels? Is that on the offensive coordinator and the play calling? Is that on the receivers, not being able to get open? And they did drop a couple balls. What do you think of the wide receivers? Anything that stuck out to you?
I can't really critique because they weren't showing a lot, but when they weren't getting the looks that they wanted to, they did the blocking, and that freed up a lot of space and for everybody. So I think it's more on Jaden Daniels. He just he just needs to bring it next week against BYU. But
I just think that they're holding back, bro. It's just
I think so too. BYU has always been a good school, so I think they've been holding back for them. I can definitely sort of see it.
Yeah, I hope so. Turning over to the defense, those first 2 drives, good God. Good God. They were, I mean, you're talking about 3rd and 9 conversions, long ones that they're just out of nowhere. A UNLV team is doing things, and Brumfield runs it into the end zone, and he flipped over one of the dudes like right into the end zone for the touchdown to go up 10-7. At that point, I was like, uh-oh. What did you see from the defense or maybe the UNLV offense too? What did you see from the defense?
So I'll talk about the UNLV offense. In the beginning, the first 3-4 drives, they look really good. But to sort of strafe away those 2 scoring drives from UNLV, was it Tyler Johnson? He was eating tonight. Like, he was getting whatever he wanted. What do you have, like 3-4 sacks?
Actually, yeah. Let me open up the stats real quick. I have the team ones, but not the box score. Go ahead.
Yeah, but he was just going insane today. And the pass rush, I didn't know how good the pass rush was for ASU, but they showed that they can crumble like a QB very quickly.
They can get there. Mm-hmm. We have one of the better defensive lineman coaches out there. We got Rhett Rodriguez from Minnesota Vikings. So the dude is legit. Obviously, losing Jermaine Lole hurts, but he is an interior lineman. He's not really on the outside. Darian Butler had a sack in there too. I'm trying to think of the guy's name who is the walk-on from Georgia. Or the transfer from Georgia, or was it a walk-on? Somebody in the chat remind me. He was looking really good as well too. The D stepped up definitely in the second half. I was really impressed with it, to be honest with you, because they had no life in the first half. They really didn't force any turnovers, which I expected like 2 or 3 tonight. I really did. But a couple of them, hit off the fingertips of our defenders, so I appreciate that. Chase Lucas came in and made a couple plays off the ball when it was just one-on-one coverage. It was better. But again, I just feel like they're holding things back, and that could also be because of what Salty just said right there. BYU, scary at home. And I was going to go to that game. I had all these plans to go, but with the rise in COVID numbers, me just getting sick and everything, it just really wasn't in the cards, sadly. But that's just kind of the game, right? Like, nothing looked good to start. And then they came out, made adjustments, and kicked ass in the second half, which was exactly like the first game, which isn't a bad thing, right? We made adjustments and we really executed, right? That's kind of the theme to the game.
Yeah. It's good to see that they have that switch. Like, okay, we need to change shit, because that shows a BCS caliber, team. So
yeah, for sure.
I know the teams that we're going against right now are unranked, but still, these are very good programs. So it's good to have those the switches for sure.
Well, it is not good what I'm reading on Twitter, actually. Herm Edwards is currently talking to the press. One of the things he just said, we still need to get our passing game in sync. So that proves right there that things were off that night. And we don't know, again, if it was the receivers or Jaden Daniels, but obviously something isn't there. We were able to cover their guys and really stop the run for the most part. I mean, yeah, coach, you really did. Oh, man, I got to bring it back up. They had, for rushing, their long was 14 yards. All right. They had 88 yards rushing and 67 passing. So, yeah, we definitely stopped them, and we made the adjustments after their first 2 drives. Thank God. What else did he have to say here? Going on Devil's Digest. If you guys don't follow Devil's Digest on Twitter, by the way, you guys need to. Herm Edwards said he felt like the first half was slow and methodical, compliments both Daniels and Brumfield, UNLV starting quarterback, for their rushing abilities. Yeah, dude, I thought Brumfield really killed it for them those first couple drives, and it's a shame that he went out. So that could be part of it too. He did go out of the game, the UNLV quarterback, so I'm sure that obviously affected a lot of their play calling decisions and how they were able to, move forward with the game. Overall, as an offense, I feel like we played a lot cleaner this week. That's true. We didn't really even talk about penalties too much. You brought it up at the beginning. I'll go back to the team stats. They didn't kill us like they did last year. We had 7 for 63. Not good, but it's not 13 for 135 that we had, right?
Yeah.
Seems like that turnover spooked our offensive coordinator. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that one turnover in the end zone was not okay. That was a Jaden Daniels ball right there, sadly. Sasha just said they need to get JD some consistent protection. He's gonna have a sore ass. Yeah, but they changed the protection in the second half, and he did have more time. But once we got up 21-10, I think everybody kind of felt like this game was over. There's no need to throw it. Let's just run the ball and be who we are, which is what we want. We want the 300-yard rushing team, right? But we also want 70 plays and 500 yards passing and all that stuff. We kind of can't have it both ways here. 7 for 63 is still a lot. It is a lot. It's improvement, though. If we have 63 yards of penalties against BYU, I think we're going to choke. So all in all, a good day. The Sun Devils won. We're 2-0. We're probably going to go to a ranked BYU next week, who just beat Utah, sadly. And I kind of want to get into some Pac-12 college football stuff. Did you get to watch a lot today, dude?
I was working today, but I saw the Oregon and Ohio State upset. I wasn't expecting that, but
that was beautiful.
Hurts a little bit, but I can't stand Oregon, but it's good for the Pac-12 though.
I know that you're a little bit of a Ohio State fan. You guys feel free to block him on Twitter if you need to. Go ahead and chastise him in the chat right now.
Please don't.
Do whatever you need to. Shervin on here is a huge Oregon fan, and we really need to talk about that game because, damn, I did not expect that from Oregon. They had issues with Florida or Fresno State last week. I'm going to share my screen real quick and pull this up.
Yeah,
they couldn't even pull it out against Fresno State without going up by a touchdown with 3 minutes left, I think what it was. And all of a sudden they come out and they just balled out. It's like everything that they meant to do, they did on offense. And they were going left, like every single damn time. And CJ Verdell absolutely murdered Ohio State today. And Oregon's defense showed up without Kayvon Thibodeau. Like, dude, Oregon right now is the class of the Pac-12. I don't care what anybody says. I think that's obvious. They are the class. Yeah, and half your linebackers. Weren't you missing Shervin? Who's the other dude there? Was it Justin Flowe that you were missing? Let me know if that's the other guy that was missing. But I know you're an Ohio State fan, but what did you see from the game? Give me your reactions. I mean, it's nice to see from an Ohio State side as well, too.
I was only able to watch about the second half, but they just kind of crumbled down. Just leave it at that. I don't know what was going on. I didn't know exactly what I was watching, but obviously Oregon came to ball.
They came ready. I mean, they're used to playing in big time situations. Oregon just as a program. So did Ohio State take them lightly? I'm not sure if you saw that. I tweeted it out a couple times. It was kind of all over today. I forget the name of the band leader, what they're called, but he ran out onto the field, and the second he got out there, he slipped. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Yeah, he ate it.
Yeah, dude ate it. Like, that was just a bad omen to begin with. So we started the day 35-28 Oregon over Ohio State. And then the next games, Colorado, Texas A&M. Colorado was up 7-0 on Texas A&M, who's ranked 5, by the way, in the SEC. And then Cal was up on TCU 6-0. Excuse me, please. And then everything just kind of crumbled from there for a lot of the Pac-12 schools, bro. Did you see any of these games, or were you working?
I was working. I didn't get off until 4.
Man, Colorado was winning, and they were giving them the business the whole damn night until like 4 minutes left on the final drive. Texas A&M goes right down and scores, and then Colorado doesn't do a damn thing going the other way, and they choked that game away.
Really?
They choked it away. Like, it was about to be a glorious day for the Pac-12, just those two victories alone, and they choked it away. And then Cal and TCU was actually very entertaining. I loved watching that game. I got to watch some football. My son fell asleep on me, and it was just like a really cool little dad moment there. And California then chokes it away to TCU. I couldn't believe it. They were up the whole game as well. They were up 19-14 at halftime, 13-0 at one point, and they lose by 2 points. TCU definitely picked it up on the offense. Cal just like stopped doing what they were doing. They did score 13 points in the fourth quarter, but they just like stopped. And losing to TCU, ruining the Pac-12 reputation. That's actually kind of on brand for the Pac-12 recently. And then we move into some of the night games. My second favorite team, Michigan, go blue, beat Washington 31-10. And I remember coming on this podcast and saying I can absolutely see Washington coming in after losing to Montana 13-7, going into the big house and beating Michigan. Boy, that did not happen. That did not happen. Michigan came out and stomped on them from the very, very first play. Those damn ads. I need to quit switching. But the other big game, Arizona, San Diego State.
Oh, what's the status of that?
Ooh.
Oh shit.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh god.
This is gorgeous. So now they have the longest losing streak of what? 14 in a row?
Yeah.
14 in a row. And this is the damn team that 5 AP poll voters picked to be in a top 25.
Damn, that's tough.
What the hell are they doing, dog? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, I know people think it's Arizona and Arizona State are the same damn school, but what the hell are y'all smoking? Damn, 38-14. You absolutely love to see it. A couple other games that happened in the Pac. Right now, Stanford and USC, you love seeing USC losing. You love seeing them, so they're going to drop down. See, that ad keeps popping on. Damn, it's so annoying. They're going to drop down in the rankings. If we'll probably move up a slot or two, but I guarantee you we will not be ranked over USC or Stanford for that matter. Actually, Stanford lost to K-State. They ain't going to be ranked either. Oregon State beating up on old Coach Todd Graham of Hawaii, 38-27. I'm sure you love that, Salty. I sure love that as well too. This game right here was hard in Coach's household tonight. My wife, who went to Utah, huge Utah fan, and they've won 8 or 9 straight, lost tonight, 26-17. Nobody likes BYU. I mean, I guess in a way that can help Arizona State because we're going to play a ranked BYU team next week. I mean, I would assume they're going to be ranked. They just did it, or they're going to be like the 25 to 30 tier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that could be good if we can go in there and beat them. Washington State beat Portland State. Not really much there. And that was kind of the Pac-12. Any thoughts or anything that you got on the Pac-12?
Well, I'm glad USC lost. I can't stand USC. Hawaii caught up a little bit. UCLA is pretty good this year. That's what I was reading.
Yeah, Salty. Thank you for bringing that up. I think it's a Oregon, UCLA, Pac-12 right now. I'm not sold on Arizona State. I don't know if anybody can be, but let's hope that they're hiding things. Utah just got beat. They look like they're not going to be what we thought they could. USC could not lose a game the rest of the damn way. Like, that's just the way USC usually is. But hopefully this will be the end of their reign in the Pac-12 South. Colorado, I'm not really personally worried about them. Their offense looked pretty garbagey overall, except for the first 2 or 3 drives. In the North, Oregon. It's the Ducks to lose right now. We'll see what UCLA does coming off of their high. If they're going to have a letdown game, obviously they're off this week because they played week 0 and then week 1, so they're going to be off. Actually, I wanted to go into a couple of the top 25 matchups. Let's just kind of preview what's going on next week. I think next week is going to be kind of an underrated week for the Pac-12. Minnesota and Colorado. That is a must win for the Pac-12, yo.
Yeah.
Minnesota cannot come into Pac-12 territory and beat Colorado. If they beat Colorado, you can write them off, for sure. USC, Washington State. USC needs to go up there and handle their business. Washington State has a chance to do something, but I don't think anybody thinks they will. Idaho, Oregon State should win. Sacramento State, Cal should win. Arkansas State, Washington. Let's see if Washington can actually get a dub this year. Utah at San Diego State. That's a big matchup right now.
Yeah.
That's really big, especially for the psyche of Utah as well and the Pac-12. That's a big game. San Diego State just throttled the University of Arizona, so that really doesn't mean too much. But BYU beat Arizona, and then they beat Utah. So who knows? Oregon, Stony Brook, you expect Oregon to win. Stanford at Vanderbilt. I mean, they just lost to K-State on the road, so there's no reason why to think that they should win Vanderbilt, right? I mean, they did beat USC, but come on. Here's the game right here. Northern Arizona at Arizona. This could be where that losing streak comes to an end. What is going on, Albert? Your USC Trojans did me well today, my friend, and I hope the Padres won for your sake. Arizona, Northern Arizona. I'm actually going to tune into a little bit of that game. I'm not even going to lie. But it is during the mighty Arizona State Sun Devil game versus BYU, so that's going to be a huge game. I think in the Pac-12, is that the biggest game? That is the biggest game for sure. That is for sure the highlight of the night. And then Fresno State, UCLA. Fresno State gave Oregon trouble, but that was week 1, and you see the biggest amount of improvement from week 1 to week 2. So who knows what we're really going to see from Fresno State now. And UCLA, are they going to still live on their high? Who knows? Any thoughts going into next week, yo?
I'm excited for that BYU game for sure. I've always liked watching their football program. It's always been consistently good, good coaching. And so I think it would make a really good matchup against ASU.
I don't know what to expect. I'm really looking forward to listening to Speak of the Devils podcast, a couple of other Arizona State ones to kind of get the feel of what everybody thought about tonight, because this was just another what did we just watch? So let's go through some of the top 25 tonight. Alabama beat Mercer, obviously. Georgia beat UAB, obviously. Oregon over Ohio State again. Oklahoma over Western Carolina. That's a throttling 9 times out of 10. Texas A&M over Colorado. Clemson beating South Carolina State big time. They get back into the dub columns. Cincinnati over Murray State. I came on the podcast and I said, I'm not really sold on Cincinnati this year. They're selling me. Cincinnati's selling me. Here's a weird one. Notre Dame, Toledo. Remember when we came on last week and we talked about Florida State and Notre Dame, and it was tied when we came on to the podcast? Or no, Notre Dame was up when we came on to the pod, and then Florida State came back, but Notre Dame won in overtime. Florida State just lost to Jacksonville State tonight, an FCS team. All right. Notre Dame almost got beat by Toledo. That number 8 ranking right there, that should not be a number 8 ranking, yo. That was ass. That was an atrocious game. Notre Dame is maybe a top 25 team, but you need to put them in the 20 to 25 range. Iowa State got clapped by Iowa. Watched some of that game, and it was just not good. Brock Purdy had 3 interceptions. The Arizona alum, Arizona, the state high school. And Iowa came out and smacked Indiana, who was ranked 17 week 1, smacked number 9 Iowa State. Iowa, they should be moving up. They're going to be above Ohio State now. So watch out for the Hawkeyes this year. Penn State, after beating Wisconsin last week, just smacked Ball State. Florida over South Florida. Now we need to get to my man, Roy, 40-21. Yo, I watched some of that game. They impressed me. I always liked Traylon Smith, yo. I think he was an Arizona State commit at one time, too. I always liked Traylon Smith. So I'm not surprised about what he can do. But Texas is back to being Texas and losing. I love it. And if you have any comments, bro, go ahead and chime in here.
I'm just going over the scores with you. I didn't watch much today.
Didn't really watch much of these other games. I saw Wisconsin clapped Eastern Michigan, Va-Tech over Middle Tennessee, Ole Miss over Austin Peay. I watched a little bit of Miami over Appalachian State. Appalachian State looked like they were actually going to really hold it to Miami, and they almost did. So that 22 over Miami after losing week 1, yeah, it was to Bama, but then barely beating an FCS team. Dude, you need to get out of the top 25, bro. We don't need to see you anymore.
Jeez,
North Carolina
Auburn.
beat up on Georgia State and Auburn on Alabama State. And, of course, Friday night, Coastal Carolina over Kansas.
Wow.
So that's just, yeah, that's kind of the wrap with college football. It was a really fun day to watch. I had some chores I had to do, but I started getting dizzy. And so I actually ended up watching more college football today than I planned to because we're moving and we need to get our shit together. Sadly, that's not going to be the case this week. Hopefully I'll get better. Sasha Chamberlain, are you really a Notre Dame fan? You and Matthew Lissy and Darth Voida over on Suns Jam. I didn't realize there was that many Notre Dame fans. I thought y'all were just stuck in Indiana. I do like Rudy. I do like Rudy though. They are everywhere. Arizona State, BYU. What are you expecting from the Devils next week? Are they going to open up the playbook? Are they going to get exposed? Make a little prediction here, Jay. What do you got, dog?
I think it's going to be a shootout. I was watching a little bit of BYU's defense. Their pass rush is pretty decent.
Yes.
So the corners are like whatever. They really haven't had to cover anybody too serious. So yeah, I think it's going to be a shootout, and I think the coaching staff is really going to unravel everything that they have to show for.
Here's a good thing. Sun Devil fans. BYU rushing gave up 193 yards, 146 to Micah Bernard, by the way. So shout out to him. 193 yards tonight. We're a rushing team. I expect us to control the clock, run that ball. They only gave up 147 yards passing. We got to at least get over 250 if we want to win this game, in my opinion. I really wish they had the individual defensive stats loaded up yet, but they don't. Only 1 turnover for Utah, so that means BYU only got 1 turnover. But listen to this. This is a scary stat, yo. BYU was 11 for 19 on 3rd down.
Jeez.
That is efficient. Sun Devil fans, you might want to worry about that a little bit. 11 for 19, considering we have history. And Utah, 2 for 9. That's kind of the game right there. But 380 yards for BYU and 340 for Utah, so yardage was pretty even.
What do you got for final score?
You know, I hadn't thought about doing anything like that. Give me a second because I do want to touch on this. BYU going to the Big 12 along with UCF, Cincinnati, and Houston.
That's tight. I like that.
I mean, that's cool. You're losing Texas. You're losing Oklahoma. Like, I don't know, man. I think that's a bad move for Texas personally, but I get it. I understand it. But you're kind of ruining college football at the same time. And this immediately puts the Big 12 as the worst, tier 5 conference. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Texas is, they bring in so much revenue just for that conference alone. So,
I mean, I'm curious to see what their media rights are going to be coming up. I mean, I can't see them getting a whole lot of money now. It's just, I don't know, man. I think for basketball, it'll be good. Like, Cincinnati, BYU is always good. I can see that for basketball. You still got Kansas. For football, man. Oklahoma State looks dookie this year. A lot of the Big 12 teams do, except for, I guess, TCU beat Cal today, but Cal lost to Nevada last week, so who knows what that really means also. The Big 12 sucks. I mean, good luck. I'm surprised the Pac-12 didn't poach anybody, to be honest with you. If I was the Big 10, I'd have been like, Kansas, come along for basketball. Yeah, just no problem, come along. And I'm surprised we didn't offer something for like Texas Tech or Oklahoma State. I'm honestly surprised. Anything you want to leave us with, man? My voice is starting to go because I've been sick and I just might need to hop off, take a take a couple pills and chillax tonight. Any lasting thoughts tonight, or you want to touch on some Cardinal stuff for tomorrow? I mean, we never talked about Dennis Gardeck being out now. You want to hop on that for a quick minute? What do you got for the Cardinals?
Yeah, let's hop on Cardinals. I think we talked about everything we could about next week's game and everything that happened today. So let's definitely hop into some Cardinal stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you got for the Cardinals right now, my man?
So game 1 tomorrow. I like the BYU game. I think this is going to be a shootout too. I'm not intimidated by the Titans pass rush at off their D line. So I think we have the edge in this matchup for sure. I saw the NFL Instagram page. They made a poll, and only like 25% of the people that voted think that the Cardinals are going to win. I don't think that's correct at all. I think it's more 70-30 the Cardinals win.
Wow.
Yeah. So hot take.
Wow. Hey, you were dealing with some grown man-ish last Sunday night when we did our kind of round table with Salty and Amit. We went through, we had our predictions. Me and Salty both picked that we're going to finish 8-9, even though we picked each game almost completely different. And Amit was 11-5, I believe so. What do you think the Cardinals' record is going to be after the season?
With everything that's going on, like just these unexpected injuries, and the Malcolm Butler loss is, I think, going to hurt us a bunch. And I think we have the capability being a 12-win team this year, but I would be happy. I would be happy if we
say that again.
We have the capability of being a 12-win team, but
boom shakalaka.
Can't believe I haven't used that all night. Damn.
So, I think what saves Cliff's job is getting 10 wins this season. So I think there's a lot of pressure on Cliff to at least get that.
Everything's on Cliff, dog. Everything. Here's what I don't want to see. So I know you're kind of new to watching Arizona State, but did you see how they did a lot of swing passes tonight? And their wide receivers were really blocking, but it was drawn up really nice. They faked a couple things in the backfield and then did that. I don't see that out of Cliff Kingsbury. He just gets it and goes. You know what I mean? And it's really bad design. So I'm really hoping that we don't see one of those pass plays out to a wide receiver real quick, a screenplay for 0, and then some stupid run up the middle, obviously when there's 7 guys in the box, and then some draw play or some tight end screen, something weird for the first 2 or 3 drives. What if we don't get a first down for 2 or 3 drives? I can see that, can't you? Can't you see that as a possibility?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely am worried because, we haven't seen much of Kyler. We don't know the status of his shoulder. Not a lot of reports have been coming out about that. We don't know if it's still lingering because, when he did have those 5-6 throws during preseason, they weren't good throws. So I'm definitely am worried.
6 throws. Jesus.
Yeah, I know. Very small sample size, but
man,
injuries are gonna make or break this team this year, and I'm just I'm crossing my fingers.
Well, Dennis Gardeck going down hurts. Jordan Phillips starting the year on IR, that obviously hurts, and he's a waste of money. Malcolm Butler, I actually heard some things lately that he was taking a knee in with the starting unit, meaning he was on the sidelines taking a knee, and we had Alford, Marco Wilson, Tay Gowan, or Byron Murphy in there, and they were playing over him. So maybe this was his way of getting out of it, and he was pissed off. We don't know. We've heard mental health, so I don't want to speculate or anything, but I have read a few articles where it said he was not running with the ones probably about half the time.
Really?
Take that for what you will. Maybe this can be a good thing. So that shot a little glimmer of light for me. But overall, man, I am nervous for tomorrow. I'm excited to wake up and watch some NFL football, get the red zone on first part of the day, and then I'll do some chores. We're going to be back with you 9:30 Mountain Time. That's going to be 8:30 local Valley time. We're going to get into everything with the Cardinals at Titans Week 1 matchup. Amit's going to be on, so we're going to have the three of us on again. It's going to be an absolute blast. Is the NFC West still the best division in football? I would say it's the NFC East, bro. No, absolutely. This absolutely is the best division. The next division would have been the AFC East, or is it the North that has the Ravens? But Ravens just got decimated, man. They just got blasted with injury. So I don't think it's them. It is all about the NFC West. But anyways, we're going to be back tomorrow night, 8:30 local Phoenix time. Catch us on here. We're going to go over everything. I'll go over the NFL, go over the next weekend matchups, what we're going to see. I'm really excited for it. Please like this video, share it out, subscribe. Hit up Anchor for us, please, and subscribe there. You can listen on Anchor. You can listen on Spotify. You can listen on Google Play, Apple Podcasts. All the links are below if you're watching. And if you're listening, please help donate and keep this going, man. We appreciate y'all. Jay, where can they find you on Twitter, dog?
Jay Joyce in the parentheses. That's my Twitter. I like music and movies and stuff. And I want to announce that I'm probably going to be starting a YouTube channel soon, reviewing albums and movies that have come out recently. So
hey,
you can find me there.
Like that. We've had a couple conversations on music. When I was sick over the week, I was able to watch the whole Wu-Tang show, and then I just started listening to all the old stuff again. So we're gonna have to do that, man. Man, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. We're gonna bring this back in right now because we're about to get out of here. Please like, please subscribe, please share this out. Sun Devils win tonight. It wasn't the best of fashion, but we got that W, 37-10. He's on Fire podcast. Thank you for joining. Deuces.
Looking, throws an alley. Oh! He puts it down! He puts it down! They're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia shuts out